For Wheeling University Athletics, I'm Zach Ziegler. It's time for another edition of the Sara Pelegreen Show. Currently joined by Wheeling University head softball coach Sara Pelegreen. And Sara, you guys had a big weekend against Alderson Broaddus. You get your first two MEC wins, sit 2-0 in conference play. First of all, talk about what that's like to be 2-0 and get off to such a good start.
You know, we've been talking the whole time about how everything leading up to our conference games matter. Everything that we've learned about our softball team, everything that we've had to work through, it all matters because when we want to click, it needs to be during conference games. And I think that we started off our conference exactly how we needed to. We came out against Alderson Broaddus and we were good. And we did what we needed to do to win. And do we have some work to do moving forward? Absolutely. But we did what we needed to do to come out 2-0 against Alderson Broaddus to start conference.
And looking at that Alderson Broaddus doubleheader, talk about what was kind of working for your team. You had a big offensive game in game one, and then the pitching really came through in game two. What kind of clicked to make it all come together?
A little bit of everything, kind of like you're referring to. We did what we had to do to win both games, right? And so we did very well offensively game one, and then when we faced different pitching for game two, it was a little bit different of a story. And so to have Randy come up big in game two and pitch a complete game shutout, and she was lights out, and I think even our pitchers in game one were absolutely phenomenal, and I couldn't have asked for anything more against AB to open up conference. So overall, it was exactly what we needed. A little bit of everything came together that day.
And talk a little bit about Randy's outing. As you said, a complete game shutout. Kind of what did you see from her, and kind of talk about her leadership for this pitching staff.
I think what's cool is she is just a baller. She's going to go out there and she's going to do her job a lot of the time. And she doesn't show much emotion. She's very much even keeled. And I think that there's a lot to love about that. Someone who doesn't get too high, doesn't get too low, and she stays exactly even keeled to know what she needs to do the next pitch or the next batter or the next inning. And that's exactly what she did in game two the other day. And she brought it all. All of her pitches were really working. And so that's what's crazy is that she is throwing so well right now, and I can only imagine the way that she's going to progress the rest of this year.
And then we talked a little bit about her last week, but Madison George keeps it going. She has 4 RBIs in the 2 games. Kind of talk about her and how she's kind of grown this season.
I think that's another kid that we can talk about, the even keel, right? She doesn't get too high. She doesn't get too low. And for her to be a freshman and playing like that is it's big time. And I think that that's something that people might not know. She's a freshman. Freshmen haven't seen this level of ball before. And for her to come in here, be big dog and take that, it just says a lot about her, who she is as an athlete, but who she is as a person as well. She's going to go up there and she's going to give her all every single time. And she's hitting the crap out of the ball right now. And so she's playing right field when she's not catching because she needs to be in our lineup. And she is yes, ma'am, I'll go play right field. I'll do whatever I got to do for this team. And I just couldn't ask for any more from her.
Currently joined by Wheeling University head softball coach Sara Pelegreen. And Sara, you guys are getting ready for Notre Dame College tomorrow in a rescheduled game. Talk about how you're able to adjust from having to move the game around due to weather and getting ready to compete.
Everything's figure-outable, right? Especially during spring season when weather is going to be bad a lot more times than it's going to be good. So on that end of things, you just have to keep grinding through, keep expecting the unexpected. And you don't get to be mad or sad about that. You don't get to act like that because it's just something that we cannot control. And so we talk about what we can control, and we can control our effort every single time that we show up for practice or show up for the games. That is what we can control. Who are we going to be when we show up? And that's what we can control. So working through weather, it's going to be what it is. And as long as my girls show up and they're going to give their 100% that they got every single day, I'm going to be happy.
And then later in the week, you guys getting ready for a home doubleheader with Charleston on Saturday, West Virginia State on Sunday. Talk about what it's been like kind of being on your home field and in front of your home fans so much early in the season.
Right. I enjoy when we get to play at our field because there is an atmosphere of, if anyone's been up to I-470, they know, like, you come up, it's like you're hanging out at a ball field, and there's like a patio that you can lounge at, or you can be in the bleachers, or you can set up your chairs, and it's just a pretty good atmosphere for people to come and watch us. And for us, like, it's playing at home on a field that we're comfortable with, and there's just a lot to be happy. Like, yes, we are very fortunate that if we need to move stuff up to the Highlands facility, we can do that, but at the end of the day, I-470 is our home, and that's where we want to be.
And finally, talk about some of your goals this week as you kind of try to keep this hot start going.
Work hard. Like, show up, be consistent when we show up for practices. That's what we talked about yesterday in our practice, is just we need to not let down. We are talking about climbing the ladder, right? That's our thing, climb the ladder this year. And if we're going to continue to climb the ladder, we have to be consistently showing up for each other, and we can't take any steps backwards. We're taking forward steps only, and that shows up when you show up consistently.
Thanks, Sarah. Good luck in tomorrow's doubleheader, and can't wait to see you out there.
Thank you for having me.
For Wheeling University Athletics, I'm Zach Ziegler.